Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today's Doctor Who review is none other than another master story. And today's master story is, of course, the box set Self-Defense. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So, we first start off with the story, Penitence. The Master has woken up without his memories, without any understanding of where he is and what he's doing there, and he finds himself in a little bit of a pickle. He is surrounded by a bunch of strangers who seem to be very antagonized by their situation. And so, whilst going through the forest, the Master soon seems to pick up that each version of these people are guilty, and they have their own sorrows. They all feel bad for a crime they've committed, and soon this makes the Master realise that they're inside of a prison. The other indication throughout this story that the Master starts to pick up on is the fact that everyone who goes missing seems to be turning into trees. By the end, he ends up with the jailer on this planet, Penitence, getting really angry with him because of the fact that the Master has no guilt. He has no remorse, and he will do everything in his power to turn everyone else against themselves except for him. The second story in this box set is called The Players. The Players is a story about a planet in which, if you're not a very good criminal, you're the worst criminal out there. The Master goes to this planet after finding out that they have some technology in which the technology allows the person using it to, let's say, alter people's mind to what you want them to believe. Think 1984. Think dystopian Hunger Games. Think the Maze Runner when they wipe Thomas's memory. Well, that's exactly what this planet aims to do. And the Master has his own uses for this technology. But of course, he eventually gets figured out after trying to impersonate an official on this planet. And his whole plan comes collapsing in on itself when a higher being captures him and decides that he should be put on trial. The third story in this box set, Boundaries, is a story that kind of links into a previous story in the War Master series, which is this story about Cole, a sky guy who wants to help a planet, and the Master who has opened up his own vineyard. The Master and Cole come across a young girl in the field who claims that her husband has gone missing. Upon going deeper into the forest, the Master finds himself at odds with this infection that seems to be taking over the planet. And so, the Master does everything in his power to avert the creation of a monster. But in doing so, he himself becomes more of a monster than he first intended. He does everything in his power after he believes that his best friend Cole has been killed. Eventually, he finds that Cole has been cured of this infection, but he snuffs out the infection and its intelligence and its shadows as it haunts him. The final story in this box set is The Greatest by Far. The Last Line, featuring David Tennant as the Doctor. The Master calls upon his old friend, the Doctor, when he is put on trial by an ancient race known as the Vectors. The Vectors believe in justice and keeping the balance in the universe, and by doing this they use a paradox device which links into the user and renders them paralyzed and ready for execution. The Master hopes that the Doctor will help him prove that he's innocent, although secretly behind the Master's eyes he has a much greater scheme and a much greater task ready and hiding. The Doctor suspects this at first, but of course gives in to his gullible ways and hopes to help his friend because he believes everyone deserves a chance. He pleads to the council not to do what they're going to do, and so they don't listen. An adolescent youngster with the power of mind ability has been keeping the Master under lock and key, but the Master uses his words of manipulation to trick the system into believing this young child is in fact him. And so she gets caught in the trap and gets burned alive by this paradox machine. The Master also uses his ability to fry this on every vector on the living planet, causing absolute chaos and bringing back all the criminals the vectors had locked away for years. The Doctor gets absolutely mad at this, and he tries his best to save the world. But of course, the Master turns up in the Doctor's TARDIS, hunting down his own TARDIS, and telling the Doctor that he has no choice but to escape before it's too late. After all, they are in the midst of the Time War, and if he doesn't escape the time lock, the Doctor will be trapped in the Time War forever. But what did I think of self-defense? Well, I love this box set, honestly. I've got to say it's one of my favourites so far. I love the idea of the manipulation. I love how in every single story, just when you think the Master is being put under the pen, he finally manages to kind of twist it and prove to everyone that he is unbeatable. His power of persuasion and his ability to weave in the people around him really shines in this box set. And for that reason, I give Self-Defense a solid 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next Doctor Who review.